Hey everybody, welcome to another Quicksave Review with me, RC. A Quicksave Review, if you haven't seen them before, is basically a Let's Play mixed with a review for a game that I'm currently playing, and I'm currently playing Obey Me. Now, Obey Me is actually a pretty fun and cool brawler game. This is a game, I'm playing it on Steam, it's 20 bucks on Steam, and it's actually a game that reminds me of games released back in like the PS2 era, you know, like it's a over-the-top brawler where you play as Vanessa here, that you can see on the main screen, and her dog, Monty, the Hellhound. Let's jump right into the game so you guys can check this out. I feel like you guys are going to dig this immediately if it's, you know, the type of game that you are normally into. So we are starting Chapter 3 now. I've already finished 2 chapters. Let's see what they have to say, if anything. Nope, we're jumping right into it. So what just happened is I unlocked this really cool hammer. So now we have that. You could switch back to her normal like quick blade here at any point, which is pretty fun. You have other abilities like throwing your knife and oh, looks like the hammer can also summon like little dudes. I don't know if these guys will help you fight or whatever, but I haven't had a chance to fight with this thing yet. So let's go explore. Let's go fight a bit. Here we go. There we go. We put a guy out, and okay, it looks like you could summon a couple. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to start doing some damage here. You're going to see that some of these enemies on screen are going to have 2 bars. They have their regular health bar, which is in red, obviously, and then the blue bar. Now, the blue bar, you might think, well, that must be some kind of a magic thing or something, but you'd be mistaken. Nothing to do with magic at all. It's actually a build-up that you can build on top of an enemy to help take out more of their health, or to gain extra blue orbs from them. Now, what's cool with the blue orbs is that you can actually use those to fuse with Monty and become a more badass fighter and take out enemies quicker, which is pretty fun. Those little plants, they keep respawning. They're pretty annoying. So the thing you're looking for in these levels here are obviously secrets and alcoves that are going to be hiding different upgrades for your characters. It's one of those games where what's really interesting about it is, for those of you who have played it, it really reminds me of like a Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, like I said, from like the PS2 GameCube era, because it's over the top, it's a brawler, and you are upgrading your character. As you can see here, you have a tree where you can fill out different abilities. Everything in this is basically button mashing. So you can see, like, you know, you're hitting A several times, you're hitting A several times, you're hitting B and then A, you know, that kind of thing. You can also upgrade Monty. Monty, the dog, adds in his own different abilities here, which is pretty fun. You also have a codex here, which looks like the Necronomicon from Evil Dead or whatever. But it tells you about different enemies and different creatures in the world if you want to learn more about it. Like the Hellhound is Monty, you can learn more about him here. Vanessa is a soul hunter, you can learn more about her here. But one of the other things that I think is pretty funny about this feeling like Dark Alliance is that breaking the boxes that are around are basically like breaking the barrels in that game. You're going to get stuff from it. You're going to get experience points. We hit a checkpoint, which usually means we want to backtrack and try to find some other secret stuff. And these things do not want to leave us alone, do they? These crystals that we just broke there are what you're looking for. You see above my webcam, you're going to get those yellow crystals, and those are going to be the experience points that you need to upgrade your character. We're going to go explore this way as well. So you're going to want to break the garbage. You're going to want to break these boxes here because you're going to see red orbs, blue orbs, and yellow orbs pop out. The blue, again, you're going to want to collect so that way you can fuse with Monty later. There's a collectible book up there that we're going to have to work our way over to, so let's do that. One of the other cool things that Vanessa can do that you're going to end up using a lot is the dash ability. So you're going to have a lot of enemies coming after you. You're going to need to use that during fights. It's very, very important. I believe the book was over this way. Monty always throws out clues to you as well to remind you, hey, we can fuse now, we can do this, we can do that. This game to me feels very much like it lives in a comic book world. It really feels like... Oh, get away! Dash! There we go. Those plants get to you, they're going to do a little bit of damage there. It's just interesting because it feels like a game that could easily live in a comic book world. There's a lot of lore, there's a lot of cool stuff going on, but more so because of the language. Like, the language they talk, like, Vanessa and Monty feel like they've known each other for a long time, the way they talk to each other. But there's also, like, you know, a lot of profanity and swearing and that kind of stuff, too. You'll hear Monty say some pretty crazy stuff, which is kind of fun. Like I said, it feels like it's right out of a comic book world because of that. So I don't think that is a bad thing at all. So there we go. We took those guys out. You can see we got a S rank for our fighting there. We just collected a book, so now we can go into our codex here. We can see, oh, the next thing we collected was Lesser Demons, so it's going to tell you a little bit about Lesser Demons if you want to read about that. We also got enough to upgrade Vanessa or Monty, so we could check out what he's got. So, for example, Monty, enemies that die while under the effects of hysteria explode, dealing damage to other enemies around. That sounds pretty great, actually. The Hellfire Shotgun's attack deals additional damage. The Hellfire Shotgun is something you get when you fuse with Monty, so we will show that off here pretty soon. Monty's fire breath range is increased. I use the explode thing quite a bit. I feel like I ought to get that one first. And we'll head back to the game here. Oh, get away. So, as I was saying though, the game does feel like an older release game, for better or for worse. It plays well, it really does. There's nothing really wrong with the game or anything like that. But the way it's developed, the way it works, the way it looks, that kind of stuff, it might be just because of the genre, the brawler genre, but it doesn't feel like a brawler game released in 2020. It feels like one that would have been released like 10 years ago. And I feel like for some people, that's a great thing. I feel like for some people, they're like, wow, I really miss like just an old school fun brawler game that I can play and just mash my way through and have a good time. And that's what this game is. If you're just looking for a fun game where you're going to get like a fun story with fun characters, which, by the way, you could play co-op. At any point, you could turn co-op mode on, and you can have a friend play with you, and one of you can play as Vanessa, and one of you can play as Monty. So they did add a co-op mode in there, which is pretty cool. And if you look at the skills, actually, you'll see that some of the skills you get are actually built for co-op mode. You'll see here, co-op mode, for example, Monty breathes a plume of hellish fire, and he'll do that if your friend is playing and they hit B as Monty. You know what I mean? I have not played it co-op. I have not played as Monty yet, so I cannot really verify whether that works well or what that is like, but that is something you can do. The game is on a bunch of different platforms as well. I believe it's on PS4 and Xbox One, so if you don't want to play it on Steam, you can actually play that on other consoles. I will say that I do feel like, even though I know it's a $20 game, it's a little bit more of a budget game. I think it's a little bit of a detriment that it doesn't have the ability to play, or it doesn't have online play as an option. You know, it'd be really fun to be able to play this with a friend of mine who lives like, 30 minutes away from me. But that's not an option. It looks like local co-op is the only option. But on that same note, though, if you're playing with your kid brother or kid sister or something, I think it's a really, really good game to probably start out playing some co-op there. Here we go. Here's some red crystals. We'll get these to pump our life back up. One of the other things, too, is that I'm in Chapter 3 at this point, and nothing in the game has looked very different. The environments so far have looked entirely the same, so I don't know if maybe we finish Chapter 3 and get to 4. Maybe it's like every 3 levels it's different. I don't know. One of the other things I do like, too, is that they talk to each other while you're playing. When you play through the first level, you're going to be fooled because you're going to think, oh my god, the game stops every single time they want to talk to each other. But that's not the case. That's only in the first level because of the tutorial. Once you get into the game and start actually playing it and fighting enemies and stuff, they'll talk to each other just, you know, through story beats as you're playing, which is the way it ought to be, really. Oh, we're going to get our blue stuff here. These blue crystals, you got to use the explodey thing to collect them. Okay, so we're gonna fuse now. And you can see here, you can now use this really cool shotgun thing. And you can still dodge, and you can still fight, which is nice. We're about to lose all of our stuff here. There we go, you're gonna jump back into normal mode. The other thing I like, too, is that Monty is going to cheer you on while you're playing. I really dig that, because like I said, the two characters will razz each other and, you know, make jokes at each other's expense and stuff like that. But you can tell that they really do like each other. And that I feel like that really comes through. And, you know, that's really something to be said for a $20 game, because I feel like more often than not, you're going to get these budget titles, these cheaper titles, and you know it's going to be kind of thrown together. You know, the story isn't like super well thought out. The characters are kind of one-dimensional here, but so far, like, I'm already digging these two characters, only being a couple chapters in. So I think that's saying a lot, really. And I'm really like anticipating where the story is going to go too. The story of the game basically is that you are hunting down different demon characters, basically. You're not sure, I'm not completely sure why or what the affiliation is. These two are affiliated with like a higher demon who, apparently there's, that's what Vanessa is. She's a lesser demon. She is part demon or whatever. But the guy that you work for is like a full demon. He's super, super powerful or whatever. I have a feeling he's going to be the guy that you're fighting at the end of the game. I think it's telegraphed that way. One of the other things that I'm not the biggest fan of in this game either is that when you get to the end, I feel like it really should tell you when you're at the end of a chapter in case you want to backtrack and do anything. But I guess that's not a huge deal because a lot of times they put these barriers up and it's like if there was a collectible you were going to get or something you didn't grab, like, you know, if there was a crystal thing that we didn't break yet and we walked this way and it put the barrier up, we wouldn't be able to go back and get it. That, I think, is a big detriment in the game. I feel like the backtracking should be enabled. It should be something that you can do if you miss something, and you know, because there are going to be things you need to collect. There are health upgrades. Oh, we can't quite make it through there, can we? We gotta blow these things up. Those mines are super annoying to deal with too. They're like all over the place. These blue things here too, that a lot of times in the game they'll line these blue things up around these mines that are right here. So you'll bounce off of these like this, and it'll bounce you into those mines, and it gets super frustrating because you're just like, all I want to do is get past here. That's all I want to do. Okay, we are at a checkpoint. Alright, we're gonna zoom up ahead here a little bit. Oh, jeez. I'm still sort of getting into the swing of how the brawler feels. I'm still getting hit, you know, pretty regularly. I feel like by the end of the game, I'll kind of, you know, have like a really good feel for it and that kind of stuff. But as it stands right now, I'm still kind of feeling it out, trying to figure out what is my best combination of moves and that kind of stuff to do. As it stands right now, I'm still kind of feeling it out. And I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. Actually, we should switch over to the hammer and get our friends back so they can help us fight. Might help us take this dude out quicker, actually. And that's the other thing. I'm still trying to remember. Yeah, we got other weapons. There's other abilities to use and stuff, so we can't forget that stuff, because that is what's going to be, you know, the difference between life and death in a game like this, is remembering your abilities. One game that this reminds me a lot of, though, the reason why I was talking about PS2 era, maybe even like 360 era games. There's an older game called Hunter the Reckoning that came out a while back, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily like a great game or anything. It was fun for what it was. There we go. We got through all those. Oh, great. We're getting a third crystal. Our health is increased. Every time you collect 3 of those, you get a health increase.
Can I get the next one?
Can I get the next one? So like I said, fun little jokes and stuff like that. So yeah, it reminds me of Hunter the Reckoning. I don't know if you guys have played that one. It only reminds me of that because of, like, you know, aesthetics and enemies and the way it plays and stuff like that. I feel like this plays much better than that game did. That game always felt like kind of stiff to me. But if you're looking for like atmospheric or tone, I feel like this, it's similar to that, but with a little bit more of a comic book feel. All right, we got a bunch more enemies. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still getting hit. I'm still kind of figuring things out. Let's show off some of her moves here. She's got the cool kick thing that I just did there, but obviously it doesn't work if they just knock you out. These guys we're fighting right here are somewhat stronger here to deal with, and they can be a bit annoying. And some of the enemies do not take as much damage from that little explosion thing that you do at the end. Every time you get, I don't think I finished this thought, every time you get their blue bar up here, you can actually throw that little sigil down, and it'll add like DOTs and other things to the enemies, which is, most of the time, they're pretty helpful. I keep getting bounced around by these stupid blue things. The blue things, I feel like, are more an annoyance than they are like a challenge. I feel like majority of the time, I'm just dealing with them, and it's pretty annoying. Might be my least favorite thing about the game, actually. In a budget game that is like full of like positives, it is, I think, the worst the worst thing in this. All right, so that was a checkpoint, so we probably want to go to the right first. Yep, here we go. We got, oh no, it gave me a checkpoint each way. So it's another thing I haven't figured out, whether there's multiple ways to go in this game or not. Sometimes they'll throw you a checkpoint going one way or another way. And I can never tell whether one way is the way to go or if one way was the way to find a secret, you know? I think this was the secret, because we got some experience here. Oh, we can't get away. Alright, we're gonna bring back some friends. Run! Okay, that's good. Try to take this guy out quick. There we go, that's good. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, guys, this is just a button-mashy comic book story, if you really want to just sum it up, which works for me. Sometimes I just want to play a fun game that's, like, not super about me thinking, you know, constantly. It's nice to play a game where you're just kind of turning your brain off and having a good time with it and enjoying, like, a silly story with silly banter and dialogue, you know? I feel like it's kind of an underrated thing nowadays where, in a world where, you know, fun, I feel like with video games a lot of times people forget that video games are just supposed to be fun and silly sometimes. I feel like people take games very, very seriously nowadays, which is fine. I get it. It's an important thing to people, and it should be, because it's a fun hobby. But I feel like a lot of times we forget it's supposed to be just fun. Not every game has to be like a AAA title. Not every game has to be this like amazing, you know, work of art or anything like that. And not taking anything away from this game. I'm not saying this isn't, you know, something that a team worked hard on and, you know, put all their I guess we'll buy this one from her. You know, put all of their, put a bunch of TLC into and that kind of thing. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying, though, obviously this isn't like the next Halo, you know. This isn't the next Diablo. it's a $20 game that is enjoyable. All right, we're gonna run up here.
I ain't liking this, V.
What's wrong?
I smell ores inside this place.
What's the problem? You just get inside and kill him. Easy.
I don't think it's gonna be that easy, V.
Huh?
The douchebag lost himself to corruption.
And that's a problem?
Let's say we might find something you'll want to forget afterwards.
I'm not following.
My nose is telling me ores isn't quite human looking.
Oh no.
The other unmade might look cute in comparison.
Ugh, we're already here. Let's go.
That's the other thing too. They don't call them zombies or demons, they call them unmade, which I think is actually pretty original. Alright, looks like we're going to be heading into quite a boss battle here, if I can tell.
Just break him.
Break that one open. This might very well just be a boss battle. Let's see what happens. We're at full everything, so...
What the hell is that?
I think that would be yours.
Wow.
You're kidding
He wasn't
me.
kidding. That dude is gross looking. Alright, so we're gonna have to fight off waves of enemies while also trying to take this thing out. Oh man.
Monty, come on!
Gonna do a cool explosion there. Take out some enemies. There we go. Dodge over here. We're doing okay here. Don't have much further to go. Gotta dodge out of here though. We got a lot of dudes crowding us.
Monty!
Dodge! These big, like, phlegm balls or something bouncing around. Take that thing out.
I don't know. Something in like horse size, maybe?
You're messing with me.
Maybe he'll get... Holy crap!
Oh, okay, yep, he's out. He's coming after us. Oh, yep, she kind of got hit there a bit. Doing okay, though.
Time to even the odds.
Wait, you're calling me useless?
Okay, back to the knife. I'm gonna stay away from this guy if I can. I'm just gonna build his blue bar up here. And then we'll hit him with an explosion here in a second. Oh, he's gone. Where is he? Oh, crap. Coming right out of the ground there. I like that. She summons the guys and Monty's like, there's no replacing me. See, that's what I'm talking about with the banter and stuff. They did a really good job, like, throwing the characters together like that. Alright, let's explode him a bit. Collect some blues. Remember to keep dodging here. Okay, he's gone again. This bar's getting up there.
He's going underground!
Nothing I can do. Whoa. That's a whole different thing. I definitely wasn't expecting.
He's eating them?
Not just that, he's healing.
Oh wow, he's healing himself with these guys running into the middle. Alright, pretty creative boss battle, I gotta hand it to him. Oh, there it is.
He's calling for backup.
Why am I not surprised? There we go. There's a bunch of blue. Alright, so we get a little bit more. We can actually do some good damage to this guy. Oh wow, he's hitting me hard now. Alright, where's he going?
Monty, join up.
Not even hitting him. There we go. That did not last all that long, did it? That was not as helpful as I thought it might be. Alright, we're gonna go back to bring these guys back. Jeez. That one attack does a lot of damage. Come on, kill these guys. Whoa! This guy really wants to take me out for sure.
He's going underground.
Oh, we gotta go through this again. I guess he does only have a third left, doesn't he? No! Crap. Okay, that ain't working. Hit him! There we go. Okay, I think that's what we gotta do. We gotta add these guys in. Hit him! Oh, these fast guys, I can't hit fast enough. Okay, he's back. Or he will be in a second. I wonder if we get him down to a third health again. If, he's just gonna do that thing again. Oh crap. More waves. Oh, get away! Getting knocked down here. Alright, that's a good amount of blue stuff.
Monty, it's time.
We are doing some damage to him, so that's good. And those really fast guys, we gotta take them out. They are really annoying. Let's get a couple of our friends back out here. We did heal a bit, so that's good. There we go, get another one out. Oh! Okay, that guy's, one of them at least is down. Jeez. There are dudes everywhere. Okay, enough with that attack. That is pretty cheap. Alright, I'm gonna get a couple more of my little guys out here. just gonna keep doing here. Things are going okay. So far, so good. Dodge. Man, there's a lot of crowd management in this. I was not expecting this for a boss battle for sure. Hey, he's almost done. He's getting close.
It was harder than I thought.
What'd you expect? He was a giant walking tumor with claws.
Giant walking tumor with claws. Gotta like it.
I'll never get used to this.
I don't think you'll ever be. Never seen somebody do that. Must be why the old fart holds you in such high regard. He likes freaks.
You mean like him?
Yeah, he used to be in the boss's inner circle.
Is he eating it?
Wait, really? This again?
What?
Didn't we talk about this?
You just killed hundreds of unmade, and you're complaining about my eating habits?
You never listen. Not even once. What the hell?
I can explain this.
What did I tell you? And the day keeps getting better and better.
Miss Held, I suppose you've finished your task?
Yeah,
Perfect. Lord Amon will be pleased.
good for him. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be going back to my place to take a shower. For 10.
I'm afraid that will have to wait.
Oh, you don't say.
Lord Amon orders you to retrieve an important relic from the coordinates I'm sending to your phone. I will add additional information once you contact me. We expect to hear back from you shortly.
Today's just one of those days, huh? Let's go, Monty. We have another mission.
Hell yeah, more food!
Hell yeah, more food. You tell him, Monty.
The time has finally come.
I don't know who this guy is, but he appeared once earlier. Not to them. They haven't seen him yet. I don't know who he was. So at the end of every chapter, they're going to give you like sort of an add up here. I have not yet been able to get anything past an A. I've got an A on everything so far. Mostly because of my time. I guess you're supposed to be able to like breeze through these levels supposedly. So I don't know. I like to show Monty eating through the garbage on the loading screen, but we know what he's really eating.
My lord, the deed is done. Miss Held has eliminated Oars.
Good.
And as you requested, I have sent her to retrieve the artifact.
Perfect. The gears have started turning.
I beg your pardon?
You're paid to serve, not ask questions.
Sorry, sir.
With any luck, Miss Held will also deal with my brother's underlings.
Are we really expecting her to take Satan's forces head on?
I have complete confidence in her. She has a card or two up her sleeve, after all.
Vanessa Held? She who isn't even a fully fledged demon?
Yes.
I also received a report from Marcosius regarding the intruder.
Perfect. He shall be more than a match for that feathered pest.
Do you have any further instructions to be relayed to Marcosius?
Just tell him he's free to kill anybody that gets in his way.
As you say, my lord. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way.
This is quite the hand I've been dealt. None of this must reach my siblings' ears, or else it would put me in a very precarious position. I can't let these obstacles hinder my plans. Not now.
Man, talk about weird.
What do you mean?
You know, the whole getting sent on another mission as soon as we're done thing?
Huh? Of all things, you think that's the weirdest thing that happened?
What else could it be?
Well, maybe you turning into a freaking zombie dog after eating ores.
Oh, that.
What was up with that?
Simple. I eat something strong, I get stronger. Thought I told you that before.
I thought it was a joke.
You know, I never joke about food, V.
You looked like a freaking walking tumor.
That's the thing about corruption. Ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. Like your hammer.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I guess you should eat more then.
Roger. I'll make sure to munch on any trash bags we see.
I meant demons.
Okay, so yes, the atmosphere and the style have definitely changed up here.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Looks like someone forgot to mention we'd be going to a place crawling with lots and lots of demons.
Shit. Ugh. Better check with management. Come on, pick up.
Never thought I'd see the day where you'd be the one calling her.
She sure owes me an explanation or two.
Well, good luck with that.
You better pick up, you cold fucker.
Yes, Miss Held, what do you need? Make it quick.
The mission report didn't say
Monty's
a
just
thing
pissing
about
out of
this
nowhere.
place being infested with demons.
Luckily for you, Lord Amon has complete confidence in your skills.
That sure is reassuring. Still, I'm not sure I'm up to it.
So, you're requesting backup?
Yeah.
Oh, sadly, our hands are tied at the moment, so I'm afraid you'll have to handle things on your own.
No fucking way!
It would be a real shame if you were to reject the mission.
As if I give a shit about shame.
Shame notwithstanding, Lord Almon's confidence in you is on the line here.
Ugh.
And as you probably know by now, losing his favor would mean no longer counting with the protection he has given you. So, by all means, feel free to abandon this mission. Actually, nothing would make me happier. No insults, jokes, or witty retorts. Miss Held, I actually am surprised.
Damn it. Looks like we're on our own.
Maybe we'll manage to get by without him noticing us.
With our luck, don't count on it.
Being optimistic for once wouldn't hurt.
Sorry, not happening.
All right, so as I was mentioning, you can see there's story. There's a lot of, character back and forth there, which I think they do a really, really good job with. Unfortunately, when they show off those story beats, sometimes there isn't much going on. It's literally like you're just watching the dog character talk and watching her, move and talk on the phone and stuff like that. But that whole scene, you're just watching the two character models from over the top. There's not much in the way of like things looking dynamic or anything. You're not seeing, the characters talk by, the camera doesn't zoom in on their faces or anything while they're talking. There's none of that stuff, different camera angles and that kind of thing. You're seeing everything over the top. So that's one of the other things I'm not super keen on with this game. But again, again, it's a $20 budget title. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game, though. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's just one of those games that comes with a few caveats. If you know what you're getting into, I think you're going to really enjoy yourself. And I wouldn't, temper your expectations maybe just a little bit. I am pretty into the fact that they did change, the tile set here and everything. Now it looks like we're in some kind of a, cemetery type area here, and it looks like we're unlocking a new different version of Monty too. Miasma Monty. Twisted by corruption, Monty can infect enemies with a damaging virus that also slow them down. So that's cool. And every now and then you're going to get these tooltips up here to let you know what's going on. So that's really cool. So in addition to her getting extra weapons, there's going to be different forms of Monty. So you can basically have Hell Monty, or look, we just changed him to Poison Monty or whatever, which is kind of cool. And it looks like that actually changes like when they fuse. So it looks like down in the bottom right, you can see those are your fuse moves there, from what I can tell. And the explosion area there. So if we put this down here, yeah, It's completely different there. So that's cool. But yeah, guys, it's one of those games that I feel like, you know, if you're willing to deal with like some of the things that, you know, make this a budget title, I think you're going to have a really cool, you know, rather really fun time with this, because it's a pretty cool game. I dig it. I almost would much rather see this as a comic book in a way, you know what I mean? But either way, cool little game for sure. Guys, I want to thank you for watching, and of course, I'll see you all in the next Quicksave review. See you then.